Minnesota state-run programs have raised serious red flags, from the so-called Leering Center scandal to a recent Department of Justice raid tied to child care building concerns. And don't forget how fraud tourists from other states took advantage of Minnesota's weak enforcement to allegedly use AI to fabricate records and steal another $3.5 million. These aren't isolated problems. They suggest deeper vulnerabilities in how funds may be managed.
That's CMS Administrator Dr. Oz on the massive social services fraud in Minnesota. The Trump administration is now pausing Medicaid funding in the Gopher State, deferring more than $90 million in additional disbursements as part of its crackdown after federal investigators raided more than 20 businesses in Minnesota this week. Let's bring in Rachel Sheffield, former U.S. Senate policy advisor, now a research fellow for the Heritage Foundation. So it's believed that the fraud in Minnesota goes into the billions of dollars. Do you think they've gotten to the bottom of it yet?
Yeah, this has been a massive scandal, and the number seems to continue to grow. Before, I was hearing $9 billion. Now we're hearing upwards of $20 billion. This is a major brazen scheme, and unfortunately, this reveals deeper fundamental problems with the U.S. welfare system that leaves it wide open to fraud, waste, and abuse.
I want to play something from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He's addressing the legislature here and talking about how he responded to these allegations of fraud under his watch. Listen.
We've created additional checks and balances. We've brought on more investigators, more auditors, more law enforcement agencies, as well as an outside firm to take a look at high-risk programs. People who have ripped us off are getting caught, and they are going to jail, just like today.
So that's Governor Walz saying that, there's a tough program underway to uncover all of this. How would you respond?
Well, I think that what we saw is that Minnesota has not handled this well. For years, there was fraud, major fraud, schemes going, undetected, politicians turning and bureaucrats turning a blind eye to this. And, the problem that we have here is that we have Washington politicians and bureaucrats who send hundreds of billions of dollars down to state politicians and bureaucrats to spend. That's the way our welfare system works fundamentally. It's this broken chain of accountability. And when you have that, you are, again, this is just a system where fraud is, it's shocking, but not surprising.
Yeah. Kristen Robbins is a Republican state representative in Minnesota who says that she believes the Democrats in that state are not eager to take on this problem, and she explains why. Listen.
I really think it's protecting their base. I absolutely think they were afraid to stand up to the fraudsters in the Somali community who were committing this. And meanwhile, some of our whistleblowers are from the Somali community. So this isn't everyone in the community. Some people want to clean it up, but the political machine that drives votes to the Democrat Party, they didn't want to stand up to it.
It's appalling to think if this is all about, winning votes and taxpayers, all of, Minnesota and frankly, United States taxpayers are on the hook for these billions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. You've nailed it. This is the people stealing from the taxpayers, stealing from programs that were designed to go to low-income Americans. Billions of dollars that have been taken, have been defrauded away, and Minnesota is probably just one story among many.
Real quickly, I want to play something from Colin McDonald. He's with the DOJ, and he says Governor Walz isn't being as helpful as he seems. Listen.
With respect to Governor Walz, I see that he has a newfound interest, and I would say that if he is truly serious about solving the fraud problem, then he should stop suing in court. He should, in fact, turn over the information that would help maximize and accelerate investigations. This includes information with respect to SNAP fraud in his state. This includes information that's been long sought with respect to voter rolls in his state.
That's basically food stamps. So Governor Walz, he says, is kind of dodging here.
Yeah, again, when we're talking about accountability in the welfare system, the line is completely it's completely broken here, right? We have again, it's most of the money is coming from federal taxpayer dollars down to states. There is very little incentive for states to see that this money is spent properly, or to prevent fraud, or to go after it. I mean, fortunately, this has, we've uncovered this, or people have uncovered this, so that we know what's going on. But again, there is little accountability for state politicians, for anybody, to make sure that this money is being spent properly. And that is something that needs to be reformed. We need to make sure that states have more skin in the game financially, and that would help us. That would help prevent fraud, because when you have more accountability, there is that provides the incentive to make sure that we're using this money well.
Rachel Sheffield, who is a former U.S. Senate policy advisor. Rachel, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.